welcome to God's 5 Minutes with Pastor Ed Wilson. Reach him at gods5minutes@gmail.com. Now, here's Ed Wilson with God's 5 Minutes.
Hello, friends. The 21st chapter of John records a story of Peter, Thomas, Nathanael, James, John, and two unnamed disciples following Jesus' crucifixion and before Pentecost going fishing. No doubt they were reminded of that first potent meeting with the Lord under similar circumstances, for there is a distinct allusion throughout the whole narrative of the earlier story of the first miraculous draught of fishes which was connected with their call to the apostleship. The correspondences and the contrasts are obvious. The scene is the same green mountains looking down upon the same blue waters. It was the same people that were concerned. They were probably enough in the same fishing boat. In both there had been a night of fruitless toil. In both there was a command to let down the net once more. In both, obedience was followed by instantaneous and large success. But there are contrasts as well. In the one case, the master is in the boat with them. In the other, he's on the shore. In the one, the net is breaking. In the other, there were so many, yet did it not break. In the one, Peter, smitten by a sense of his own sinfulness, says, "Depart from me, for I am a sinful man, O Lord." In the other, Peter, with a deeper knowledge of his own sinfulness, but also with a sweet knowledge of forgiveness, casts himself into the sea and flounders through the shallows to reach the Lord. The one is followed by the call to higher duty and to the abandonment of possessions. The other is followed by rest and the mysterious meal on the shore. Think of them as the darkness fell, and the solemn bulk of the girdling hills lay blacker upon the waters, and the Syrian sky was mirrored with all its stars sparkling in the still lake. All the night long, cast after cast was made, and time after time the net was drawn in, nothing in it but tangle and mud. And then, when the first streaks of morning break pale over the eastern hills, they are still so absorbed in their tasks that they do not recognize the voice that hails them from the nearer shore, "Have ye any meat?" And their weary answer, in one word, "No." It is an emblem for us all, weary and wet, tugging at the oar in the dark and often seeming to fail. What then? If the last cast has brought nothing, try another. Out with the net once more. Never mind the darkness and the cold and the wetting spray and the weariness. You cannot expect to be as comfortable in a fishing boat as in your living room. You cannot expect that your nets will be always full. Failure and disappointment mingle in the most successful lives. Christian work has often to be done with no results at all apparent to the doer. But be sure of this, that they who learn and practice the homely, wholesome virtue of persistent adherence to the task that God sets them will catch some gleams of a presence, most real and most blessed, and before they die will know that their labors have not been in vain in the Lord. They that sow in tears shall reap in joy. And so, finally, there stands out before us here the blessed picture of the Lord himself, the risen Lord, with a halo of death and resurrection round about him, there on the firm beach in the increasing light of the morning, interested in, caring about, directed and crowning with his own blessing the obedient work of his servants, Jesus Christ, fresh from the grave, who had been into those dark regions of mystery where the dead sleep and wait, and come back into this world and was on the eve of ascending to the Father, takes an interest in 7 poor men's fishing, and cares to know whether their ragged old net is full or is empty. There never was a more sublime and wonderful binding together of the loftiest and the lowliness than in that question in the mouth of the risen Lord. Anything that interests us interests Jesus. It may be that we shall not see the results of our toil till the morning dawns and the great net is drawn to land by angel hands. But we may be sure that while we are toiling on the tossing sea, there, standing on the shore, is someone watching over us, caring about what happens to us. Have you talked to him today?
You have been listening to God's 5 Minutes with Pastor Ed Wilson. Reach him by email at godsfiveminutes@gmail.com. Tune in next time to hear more encouraging thoughts from God's Word on God's 5 Minutes with Pastor Ed Wilson.